Hello and welcome to the DFS_PhD show for today, the 14th of August. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be this guy. 10K on the tennis slate yesterday. Thank you to Saberson, man. That's the what, fourth one of that level or higher ever for me. So I'm happy. I saw I was the fifth or sixth all-time tennis winner in the winner circle, so that was cool. Yeah, I like, I'm gonna do the exact same thing today for baseball that I did yesterday for tennis, so great. With the exception, I do play with the team totals a little bit in baseball, so I add a little bit more of, guessing about the games. You can not add that if you want. As always, we're sponsored by PredictionStrike. You can use promo code PhD to get their best deposit match deals. I do enjoy what it adds to watching MMA in particular on the weekends. There's a nice flow early in the week. You make your picks. You think who's going to do well. You go buy couple $100 of the stock. You come back. You get a notification. Hey, that stock is spiking, and you go. It's a nice throughput. Okay, so let's look at, was this a similarly sized slate? Today's slate is how many games? I go to settings. Does it tell me where do I see that? I go up here. See the number of baseball games, 11. So the slate we're comparing it to, did it have a similar number of games? No. So we want to go to what's a similar slate? Last Wednesday? No. What's a similar slate last Friday? 13. That's kind of close. Thursday, 5. Saturday, we got 11. We got 9. It's kind of similar. Tuesday, 11. Okay, let's look at last Tuesday and see what contests won and stuff. I don't know if number of games is that important, but that's what I'm going to use as my proxy for success today, or for similarity. So let's go actual ROI, not sim ROI, just to see who won. $300 on the table, $0, $200. Okay, everything in the top is in our, yeah, very, very tight. Okay, there's one. Seventh place, 48.6. So, you can leave money on the table on swaps. It's like I always say, 5-2 stack. That's the most important part. But sim ROI is pretty negative on this lineup compared to the ones around it. I don't know if I would necessarily do that. Yeah, there's a lot left on the table. I think probably today I'm going to leave 200 regular, 500 on swaps. You can see a couple of these are sneaking up there. If you want to leave like a couple thousand on your last swap, that's probably fine based on this, but I don't know if that's really positive long term. All right, I didn't think I saw any weather concerns. Yeah, moderate weather concerns. Keep an eye out. Obviously, you make sure you got whatever your weather dude on notification mode because weather changes. We had an earthquake here right after the last video, so I still posted it, man. I was posting the like Twitter, whatever, while it was happening. I was like, that's like it's way more cool to have the earthquake happen on camera than it is to have it happen while you're posting on Twitter. And you're like, oh, well, I hope the walls don't crash in while I'm posting this video. Okay, all right. So that was it. Yeah, that happens again. I probably just run into the streets. All right, so contest sims, I'm doing it. Especially since I've won an extra month now, we'll be through the end of September doing the contest sims thing here. I'm sorting by risk average ROI, which is, it looks like to me, the average plus the variance of the ROI, right? Let me double check. Seems like that worked though, pretty good. Yeah, you got sim ROI, you got risk adjusted ROI, and somewhere in there, there's also ROI standard deviation. So you can work it out that, yeah, it's basically there's a relationship. It might be the square root or something, but risk adjusted ROI includes a little bit of the standard deviation upside, right? Because you don't really care what the average is. You care what the 36. Remember, we used to do like things with like 95th percentile. So that's the way. The risk adjusted ROI is their current way of giving you something that's like, 95th by 5th percentile adjusted, or I guess not 95, it'd be 68th percentile, depending on which, if they choose 1, 2, or 3, right? The number of standard deviations, that would be 68, 95, and 90, whatever it was. You guys remember the math? I don't remember the math. It's been a while since I've done statistics for a normal distribution, which is funny because that's all of life out here, right? Oh, right. So this is just my regular lineups for today, huh? So that's why it didn't make sense to look at all the ROI numbers right now are in magical la la land, but also they should be more positive than this. Sometimes you got to double check that it's actually sorted when you've told it to sort. So I go unsort, resort. Yeah, so now it's sorting the wrong way. Now it's sorting the right way. Okay, thank you very much. Because like right when you do it the first time, sometimes it doesn't register, I think. This is the beta, so like there's going to be things like that you have to keep track of. And I really like the beta much more than the regular. If you're still using the regular to build, don't. That's not where I built my 10K winning lineup. That's not where it's just so much easier, particularly when you're doing contest sims. So you just pull out, you say like add contest sim, you just look it up and you click it and you do the contest sim that you want to. It's not tricky at all and it's particularly enjoyable. So I just click main. And I mean, yeah, I probably will build a few different contests that have similar payout structures to main. But it's awesome that I can just click and, if I wanted to throw 10, 20, 30 in main, it's going to give me an exact contest sim of those results. So what you do then after you run the regular thing, you click run contest sim, and then you do the thing I just did with rating, sorting by RA, ROI, not just ROI. Okay, now I haven't done any paring this down yet. We're not going to probably take infinity of whatever dude it tells me to take, but these are all awesome and regular percentages. I'll just leave them all. I mean, won me so much money yesterday. The biggest difference here is Herz. I don't understand that probably change over time. I don't. Baltimore's good, but like, what are we doing there? Like, we can't have so low owned guys like Estes and Herz today. Like, yeah, they've been priced up, but like, what are we doing? 0.26%. I think this is probably an artifact. I should probably change these guys to like 5, right? But then it's not going to be zero sum. Like, they're going to have ownership doesn't work out. So I'm just going to leave it for now. And I'll come back later. This is not a real run anyway. I'll show you my projections. Actually, yeah, I'll send these to the chat right after. But yeah, let's see. As a result of Cincinnati being good, I'm gonna have a lot of Cincinnati. Yeah, no notes. I'm just gonna take exactly what Contest Sims gives me today. So let's go over here just to do this. Show you guys how to do it, how easy it is. Click, download, over here, contest, upload the contest, file. I know this is thrilling radio, especially, and I mean, as if the video is super exciting as well. But I don't want to forget to do it. That's why we're doing it. It has happened before where I've built the thing and forgot to commit it in time, and you guys know that's not fun. You don't want to be a part of that. All right, so we save. I use a duplicate with unique ranked, so my higher ROI lineups get my better placements. Upload. And it's probably no, actually, wait, that would be in downloads probably still, I guess. I don't remember where that was. Again, thrilling video. Let me go back and talk. I should have done this at the end, but I forgot. Okay, so now that that is uploading, let me first of all make sure it is said completed. Yes, let's make sure it says complete. Now we go back and tell you what we were doing here. Okay, so high leverage pitchers. Number one, we got 16 pitchers in my pool. I'm playing 200 lineups, so that means on average, what? Very little, 10% per pitcher. We got a wide range of dudes starting out, right? This is like everybody. And it's, look at this range of points. Everybody's within like 5 points. What am I supposed to do? Like, I'm not going to pick a winner. I mean, I don't even like picking this much Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray could get blasted, man. You know what I mean? Like 35% Robbie Ray is fine with me. I don't want to make my big stand of the night Robbie Ray. I'll make my big stand of the night like Herz and Tyler Phillips and all these other weird guys who nobody is on for some reason. It's like obviously they could get blasted, but in the case they don't get blasted, they're going to be really close to optimal every time. So do I think it's like 30% of the time? No, it's probably more like what, 25% of the time max for a Phillips type guy, for Herz type guy. I don't want to be more than 10x the field. You know what? Let's keep it at a reasonable 8x the field for Herz, and then distribute the rest of the ownership amongst the dudes. Cabrera, I've kind of, I don't know, my game. Whatever. Ballpark Pal wasn't on him because it was on his opponent doing well. We'll see if I stick with that or not. Now, I have not committed this after I already saved it. So, but I'm not going to do it again because I'm definitely do it 5 times before lock anyway. You should always, number one, your last build should not be until, well, okay, this is a 3:35 slate, not until what? When's the second round of games? 5 o'clock. Don't do your first build until what? 2:45, 3. Make sure you get all of this first round of games. So then you're coming back and you're rebuilding maybe a little before 5, a little bit before 6:30. This is Pacific time. you're doing a lot of late swapping, right? We talked about it before. You must late swap. That's the only advantage there is in MLB. MLB is the crapshoot of crapshoots. Don't feel bad. I haven't won an MLB in like years. It's like I know since I've been doing the video, we were always talking about tennis or Sims or something else. I'm winning like $100 ticket or something in MLB. I'm not taking down the big GPPs. And to an extent, guy just don't hit a home run. I mean, like, what am I supposed to do? I want guy to hit a home run. He's in a good spot. He don't hit a home run. Other guy, it's like there's so much variance, and you can look on if you're questioning this yourself, you can look on your what's it called? The Roto Tracker. I haven't looked at it in a while, but it's a fun day to look at it, I guess, because I won a bunch of money yesterday. But at the same time, I just know the whole ship's going fine overall. Like it's been a meh year. I got mostly unlucky. I got lucky yesterday. So no need to look it up. But if you want to, you can look it up and look and break down your cumulative wins by bin and see whether or not whether it's self-similar or not, basically. So if it looks like, oh, cool, I'm getting a lot of high 1%, 2%, 3%, I'm outperforming the field. And then you look in the 10th percentile bins and you're outperforming 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6, 0.5, but not 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, 0.1, or like, but not like 0.1 or 0.2, but all the rest of them. You can see stuff like that. And it's like, oh, I've just gotten a little bit unlucky with the absolute extremes. There might be something, maybe there's something there and somebody else's methods get them to the other extremes better. But I don't know if I've got enough data for that. Maybe you do as a person who plays more. But yeah, you can see what I'm done here. It's a lot of Cincinnati. That's too much. I don't know what we're doing with Oakland. Okay. Oakland's good leverage. I'm not going to undo whenever we have a dog that we're giving like 15%. Because yeah, Oakland and Atlanta are pretty bad today, but good bats there in bad situations. So could they still get there? Yeah. I mean, like they could still hit 5, 6, 7 runs and be optimal. So I think that this is an appropriate SaberSim guess at ownership for the stack, 4 or 5%. And I don't mind being 15% because that's a little bite. That's nothing. These guys could hit it. Like, a few guys on each of these teams who you'd be happy to be part of that stack. Guess that's probably who it is, right? So, I should probably look that up to make sure, but yeah, whatever. It's a little bit much, 15%. I might change it to 10, just so it's not, you see I'm running like a zillion lineups out here. 10's already a bunch of stacks. So how about we get granular and we say 12, 12.5. And we do 12.5 for Atlanta as well. And where does that spread us around? A little bit more Seattle. Yeah, this is more reasonable. So now we're getting to some dogs, but maybe more of the non-dogs. Because you don't need to force in a dog. This is baseball. There's a zillion dudes on every slate. You need to find the optimal combo. So like, yeah, to an extent, there's like good teams, bad teams pricing. You can't just slam 2 good teams and good pitchers. I get that. But don't just play bad stacks all the time. Mix them in, mix a little smidge, just like with shooters, right? In the NBA or WNBA, if you follow the videos a lot, I talk about that sport a lot. So it's kind of my home thinking territory. And any stack is like a shooter. Any stack in any game can go off for no reason or any reason or 5 reasons. You know what I mean? Like who knows? They get a tip on a guy and they all of a sudden an ace. You can and this fastball's coming, right? And then boom, you're slamming him. And so guys tipping pitches or who knows what it is, but there are random things that happen all the time, and you need exposure when they do. So that's my main pitch is that it's a high variance game. So anytime the field condenses in baseball, don't do it. Don't do it. That's not what baseball is for. Baseball is not for condensed ownership. Last year I was doing that. Oh, jam studs. There's just the pitchers on this slate do not do that. Maybe some slates we still do if we get like, boy, that was fun, right? What was that last Friday? Whenever we had the sale and whoever it was, there was 2 amazing pitchers going, San Francisco and who even remembers. But it was a delightful game. Whenever you have that kind of thing, and the pitchers are even on the other side. All of my best lineups that day were both pitchers on the other side of that lineup. Neither one got the win. They went like 8 scoreless or something, both of them, with friggin' 12 strikeouts. It was so fun to watch that kind of a game. So if you have that kind of a game, maybe you do jam it a little bit more. We don't have that kind of a game today. I don't see those kind of pitchers today. We're just spraying and praying with pitchers. And I mean, with stacks, that's always what you're doing. You're always spraying and praying. That's why to an extent, I just looked at this Cleveland exposure, and I can't be 3x on anybody. Like I'm not 3x. I'm not. I like them, but I like them 2.5x. Like 30%. That's a strong stand. You gotta when you're taking when you're taking that level of a stand, you need to think about it in terms of all of the other ramifications of the stand. All of the other stacks you don't get to as a result of taking a big old stand. You know what I mean? Like it's fine, take a little stand, but like recognize you don't get any of these teams that you've like said I don't want any of. So like 0 Baltimore stacks today, big question mark for me, but I nerfed them considerably and I know they're expensive. Defensive touchdown, big man touchdown. Sorry, it's the Sims. It's the Sims. I don't have any of Detroit anyway. This is gonna be terrible for me. But it is a big man touchdown. And what are all the anyway? A running back, a wide receiver, anybody catch this big guy? Must have been nobody looking. He was walking in there for 60 yards. But yeah, it said basically all the baseball stuff I do. You can see this is why you pay Saberson $300 a month. Like I don't want to do more than this level of thinking about baseball. Like I don't want to be like down in the weeds looking at like last year we did a lot of like looking at splits. Don't do that. Like at the end of the day, that was wrong. Like you settle into routines or something. You can do it for a while. Maybe it gives you a good result for a little while. But there's a math reason not to look at splits. I'll give you a second. Take a little second. If you're a math person, think of why you shouldn't look at splits. There's a very simple formula you might know about error and about variance. It varies with sample size, right? How does it vary with sample size? How does error vary sample size? 1 over the square root of n. Oh, come on, dude. You know what I'm talking about. Variance, sample size, square root. Okay. Just put all the words in the answer and it'll probably give it to me. Oh gosh. All right. Well, whatever that point was a good one. I'm sure. I'm done with it. Okay. Leverage plays. Let's talk about it. Hertz, Phillips, Estes, already talked about it. Negative leverage, those are the ones I always skip. Yeah, these are important. The implications of the positive leverage plays are the ones you got to think through. Barrios, great, fine. What are you guys doing jamming 10% Barrios? He's not that guy anymore. He's fine. Peterson, same thing. Like, meh. Look, I got 23%. How much you guys want me to jam? How much you get? 30%? Jeez, give me a break. Will Warren, same deal. Like, just he's fine. He's got a zillion dudes out there. I don't understand. I think by lock, some of this will change, but because like some of this, like already we got what Brian Simmons is here. He's not even in my pool. I don't really think 3%. Okay, maybe you put him in there. Whatever. There's a number of people in this pool that could be in there, right? Like that's the thing. A number of these pitchers, like, do you want to put Walker? You want to smidge a Walker Bueller? Do you get news from the Dodgers? They're going to run him out there for 90 to 100 pitches or whatever? Sure. I'm not going to do it. I like the Dodgers too much. I don't want to have money on Walker Bueller and him do bad. Carson Spears, also fine to have him in your player pool if you want. More people will have Brian Sammons. I just feel like we got value. We got so many other options that are going to give you 3 to 5 more points on average that I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to go down here in the absolute bargain bin. I just don't need it. That's why I haven't gone down here. You can if you're running, 1,000 lineups. I normally say 150, 200, but I'm doing 200 a day now for baseball because we're going to get the win. We're going to kill that variance, right? You know what? Like, if it really is a binning issue, we're going to find out by the end of baseball season. You know what I mean? I'm going to get that free month. I want to have the first what is that? That's 4 weeks plus 4.5. So the first 8 weeks of baseball or of football season covered by the time football season starts. So I can then win some of the extensions in football because that's a lot more money on us. But let's just say, remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us. Not just in tennis, maybe sometimes in baseball.